Hi all, let's learn about Bayes' theorem today. Imagine that you get onto a campus and you meet a person. This person appears to be shy, looking at the shoes, and you want to guess whether this person is from maths or business department. And your quick guess would be, oh, appears to be maths person. The difference between an introvert math and the extrovert math person is that math person looks at their shoes and extrovert looks at other shoes. So in your mind you have done some kind of probability calculation. So here is an example, right? Let's say there are 200 math students in a university, and you go and check whether the persons are shy or not, and you might find that 160 of them are shy. And that takes you to a probability of 80%. So you take 160 divided by total number of math student, which gives you zero point 0.8, and zero point 0.8 is the probability, or in simple English we say 80% chance that the person will be shy given a math student. And you would use that to say that, oh, most probably this person is a maths person. So here is, in that university there is people who are 80% shy and business people who are 30% shy. Given this piece of information, you would say that, oh, most probably this person is maths person. But let's get to next level. So if we find that maths people who study maths in a university are only 20%, 80% of the students are business, then how does it work? So in a 1,000 person university, 200 of them are maths and 80% of them are shy. Similarly, for business, 800 of them are business people and 30% of them are shy. So the way you compute is you take the zero point 0.8 from this, multiply it with 0.2, and you get 0.16. And similarly, you take 0.3 and multiply it with 0.2 and you get 0.24. This is the probability of maths person being maths, given that we have an evidence that that person was shy. Similarly, the probability of person being from business side, given that we found the person to be shy. And here we see that the number becomes tilted in favor of business. And the reason is that even though most of the maths people are shy, the total number of business people are very high. And that, there is a high chance that you have met a business person, even though most of them are not shy. This takes us to the Bayes formulation, which basically says that the posterior is equal to likelihood into prior, and we'll get into that in a moment. So what Bayes' theorem says is that if you have an evidence E, what is the probability that a particular hypothesis is true? Evidence here is that you found the person to be shy. Hypothesis is whether this person is a maths person or a business person. So it starts with this formula. So you take the previous knowledge or the prior, which is how many of the maths and business people are there. So P of maths will be the prior, and you multiply it with the probability of seeing this evidence, given that that hypothesis is true. So given if it was a math student, what is the probability that the person would be shy? So this is the likelihood function. You multiply likelihood into prior and you divide it by marginalization, the probability of the evidence itself happening, and what you get is the posterior, which is the probability of the hypothesis being true given this particular evidence. Now, it is not just enough that you take this probability and make a decision, you also have to look at the impact. So, if you are trying to predict a particular disease, or you are trying to predict whether a person that you're interacting with could be a murderer, and there is a severe risk to your life, then even though the probability is low, you might still like to, not ignore it. uh, when compared to the previous example where, we could have, we were just guessing the, the this type of student. Now let's take one more example. Let's say we also find out that this person has a watch, and we have some more, in addition to the shyness data, we have watch data where we have found that 80% of maths people wear watch, whereas very few of business, 30% people wear watch. And wearing watch and shyness, let us say they are not, you know dependent on each other, they are independent things, so it has nothing to do with shyness. If we take this new evidence that we saw the person wearing watch, then the probability becomes like this. So you multiply the shyness probability of maths person into the watch probability of maths person into the probability of maths person itself, which is 20%, and you get this. Similarly, you do it for the business thing, and here you see that now suddenly with additional evidence you are more certain that this is a maths person, that the probability has tilted again in the favor of the maths person. There are couple of other learnings from the Bayes theorem. First thing is that it's a continuous thing. So as you accumulate more and more evidences, your posterior keeps improving and it starts becoming more and more accurate. So it's a continuous phenomena where you keep collecting evidences one after another, and you keep getting more and more accurate. That also means that the conclusion should never be permanent. As you, if you get new evidence which counters things, you would go and update the posterior, and suddenly your probability conclusions will start changing. And this is basically, particularly true about life, where we learn few things and we think those are, conclusions, and we never update them. But what Bayes thinking tells us is that we should continuously update what we are learning and be open to surprises, and, be decisive but also be open to updations to the conclusions. Thank you.